Welcome! In this quick guide, we're going to walk through how to enter your survey metadata into the system, making sure it's done quickly and accurately. Let's make this whole process simple so you can get back to your important work in the field.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start with prepping your data. Then we'll dive into how to add and manage your surveys. We'll also cover a neat feature for adding custom methods and wrap up with some final tips to make sure everything goes smoothly.
All right, before we even think about adding a new survey, there's one super critical check you should always do. Honestly, getting this right from the very beginning is going to save you a ton of headaches later on.
This right here is the most important step. All of your survey data has to be connected to the right field trip and site visit. If you link it to the wrong one, it can cause some major problems that are a real pain to fix. So always double check that you've got the right trip and site selected on your home screen before you start anything else.
Okay, so now that you've confirmed your field trip and site visit are correct, we can move on to the main event, adding a new survey.
To add a survey, we're just going to follow these 4 main steps, from picking the survey type all the way to saving and validating. So let's take a look at the form where all this magic happens.
And here it is, the Add Survey form. Now, the very first field you need to complete is Survey Component. This one is super important because your choice here, whether it's coral or fish or something else, is actually going to change the other fields on the form to match exactly what's needed for that type of survey.
You know, the form is pretty smart. It tries to save you some time. As you can see, details like current and water temperature are automatically copied over from the site visit record. But one thing you must always enter yourself is the actual survey depth. That's because it might be different from the site's general depth.
So after you click that Save button, the system generates a unique survey code just for this record. You can see it right there, highlighted in the orange box on the form. This code is your confirmation that, yep, your survey metadata has been successfully saved.
But hold on, you're not quite done after saving. The next critical step is to click the Validate button. This runs a quick automatic check on your data to look for any common mistakes or missing info. It's a great way to help make sure every record is top quality.
Great. So your surveys are in the system. But what happens if you need to find a specific survey later on? Or maybe you need to make a change or delete a record that was put in by mistake. Let's take a look at how to manage your surveys.
This is the Select or Edit a Survey screen. Think of it as your control center for all the surveys connected to this site visit. You can find the survey you need right in the list. To start working with that survey, just click the blue Select button. To change its details, click Edit. And if you need to remove it completely, you've got the Delete Survey button at the bottom.
Now, after you select a survey from that list and click the Confirm button, the system takes you right back to the main home screen. And you'll see its unique survey code is displayed right there. This is really helpful because you always know exactly which survey record is active and ready for data entry.
Science is always changing, right? And sometimes your fieldwork might not follow a standard, preset procedure. The system is actually flexible enough to handle this, so let's see what you do in that kind of situation.
So what happens when you've done a survey in a new or a slightly different way, and you look at the survey methodology drop-down list, and your option just isn't there? You need a way to record that information accurately.
Well, the solution is really simple. Right on the Add Survey form, you can add a new method to that list just by clicking the small blue plus button that's right next to the survey methodology field.
When you click that button, you'll see a form where you'll need to fill in these key details. Defining your method with a code, a name, a description, and its dimensions is absolutely essential. It makes sure that anyone who looks at your data in the future will know exactly how it was collected.
To finish up, let's just quickly go over a few key habits. Following these simple tips will make your data entry process smooth, efficient, and most importantly, error-free.
So, to make sure your data is clean and accurate, here are a couple of best practices. First, try to enter all the surveys from one site visit in a single session if you can. And second, for every single record you create, always remember that 2-step process. First, click Save, and then click Validate.
And finally, don't forget that help is built right in. If you're ever not sure about a field or a step on the Add Survey form, just look for the Help video button. You can see it here with the YouTube icon. Clicking it will open up a detailed video guide to help you out.
You know, every accurate record you create does so much more than just sit in a database. It actually contributes to a much larger scientific understanding. And all of that important work, it all starts with this one simple process.